Hello and welcome back to Christine's Mom Picks. I am Christine, and today I want to go over everything to do with breastfeeding and the supplies that you're going to need while you're breastfeeding. So I am a first-time mom, so I am guilty of having purchased absolutely everything under the sun because I just wasn't sure what I was going to need. So I want to help you kind of like decide what are the things that you should actually invest in versus things that you should probably not waste your money on. So let's start. The first section I want to kind of go through is breast pumps. So first and foremost, the Spectra. This has been my absolute favorite machine that I purchased. And when I say purchase, definitely look into a lot of insurance companies will allow you to get one free breast pump. I know a lot of them will give you like a selection of, there's so many on the market. So the one I chose was Spectra because it was covered by my insurance, and I looked it up and it had fantastic reviews. And I'm definitely here to say that those reviews are correct. This has been my best friend. So take a look at your insurance and make sure that you do that before you go purchase a breast pump so you're not spending several $100s just to find that you didn't have to waste that money. So getting the Spectra, total must, absolute. I know they've got a pink one as well, and there's other brands that come out with breast pumps as well, but I had done a lot of research beforehand to see which one I was going to select. And basically from the ones I was allowed to pick for my insurance, this is the one that just like hit all the boxes. I love that there's different functionalities to it. So you can, there's a letdown portion that kind of stimulates the breast, and then you can change the functions to like kind of draw out the milk. And I do really feel like this empties me out, and I don't feel like I am still clogged or I need to like continued pump. Like you can get this job in like done in 15 minutes. So I really love this one. Another thing that I would say is definitely worth investing if you're a mom on the go is a portable breast pump. I went with the LV Stride. Looks like this. Basically, it's really small, which is why I picked it. This is pretty much equivalent to the size of this. I do have to say that I love how quiet this one is, and I love that it just slips into your bra so you can just wear it when you're out to dinner, or let's just say you're at work and you don't have time to like strap into the Spectra. This is just really nice and discreet. I do have to say though that it does take a significantly longer time to pump. Like I feel like I will pump for like 30 minutes and I'm still not fully empty. So I would say this is a nice to have. I think in the future I might look into getting a different portable pump. I am looking at the Mom Cozy one next. It's white and it's got like the machine up here. It's a little bit louder from what I hear, but I think it does a better job with the suction. But again, if you do need something like quiet and discreet, this has been really nice. And at the end of the day, it still does the job it's supposed to. It just takes a much longer time. But this was something I did have to pay out of pocket. It was a few $100s. So if you are not looking to spend this kind of money, you're a mom on the go and you're like, okay, I still need some kind of relief while I'm out, I really, really recommend this. This is a hand pump. Basically, you place it on your breasts. There's a letdown button up here, and you just pump this, and then you can release. And this is super affordable. It will take a little bit longer because it is a manual pump, but it works. I mean, it works great. So I love, honestly, bringing this sometimes more than I love this, just because sometimes I'll forget to charge it, or honestly, I just feel like it takes so long. I'm like, I might as well just do it myself. And there are parts you can buy online that can turn this bottom part into a bottle. So you can just put a top on top of it and you're good to go. So this Medela breast manual pump is also like a fantastic investment if you're not looking to spend a few $100s on a portable one. I also want to go over kind of like milk collectors, kind of in the same realm as a breast pump where they're kind of like drawing out the milk. The first one is this Haka. Basically, you put it on your breast and you press it, and then it will just stick there, and it has a very strong suction. Some people find it to be a little bit too strong. It might be a little painful. For me, I don't mind the strength of it, but what I do have to say about this is it does get in the way. So you'll be walking around and it is so easy to just move it. You'll accidentally just like move your arm, and then I've had the milk just spill everywhere. So I do find this one a little more inconvenient, although I do feel like it's got a pretty strong suction. To me, I don't know if I would necessarily recommend this just because of how you have to pretty much be sitting there and you can't be just doing other things. You have to just like, if you're watching TV, you could put it on there and suction right out. That's totally fine. But if you're playing with your baby or you're trying to do stuff around the house, the one I would really, really recommend is called the Boon Trove. This one slips nicely into your bra. You press it right here to get a nice suction. I love this one. It's definitely a lighter section than this one right here. But what I love about this is the fact that I can wear this while I'm playing with my baby, or if I'm cleaning around the house, or just like doing something I know I'm not going to accidentally knock it over and have milk spill everywhere. It's just sits so securely in your bra. It's fantastic. So I would say if you were kind of debating between the two, Boon Trove all the way. Um, Another thing that I would recommend, I use these a lot at the beginning of my breastfeeding journey when I was noticing that I'd breastfeed on one side and then my other side would just leak, just leak a ton. These are little LV cups, and basically, again, you stick them in your bra. Unlike the Boon Trove, there's no suction. It basically, you can just stick your nipple into here and it just collects all the letdown. That way, I mean, sometimes you can get like an ounce from this, like when you're breastfeeding, and it's just like sometimes I noticed I was wearing nursing pads and they'd be like soaking wet at the end of them, and I'm like, okay, well, this, I don't want to waste all this milk. I mean, I think you breastfeeding mamas know it's a lot of work to collect, and just the whole operation can be a lot of work. So finding anything to collect some extra milk on the side, like passively, is so nice to have. So I would definitely recommend getting one of these, especially if you are like me where your letdown was really strong at the beginning. I do notice though that I haven't been using them. I actually haven't used them in a few months. So to me, this was a nice to have just because I found them very, very helpful the first month, I'd say month or two. But then after that, my boobs started to regulate, so I didn't have that issue. But if this is something, an ongoing issue you have, or if you just, if you like, just like having them just in the event you are still having a letdown, then this is fantastic. All right, the next thing I want to go over is nipple care. So, for when I just started my breastfeeding journey, I found it extremely painful because this was a completely new sensation. I have never done this before. My nipples have never done this before. So, it was just a new journey for me and my body. And especially my baby as well. They're learning to latch. They're learning how to eat food for the first time. So, it's just like everyone's trying to figure everything out, and your boobs are in the crossfires of that. So it can be quite painful. So things that I purchased to kind of help the pain, I want to say first and foremost, my favorite thing that I used so much at the beginning were silver nipple shields. I would stick these babies in the fridge in between my feedings, then I'd put them on. Oh my gosh, the relief that it brought me was so great. I honestly love these so much. One thing I do have to say about this is if you are using nipple butter or nipple cream, you don't use it with this. It's either or. So I would use nipple cream. I ended up having to get prescription because my nipples hurt so bad at the beginning. But I did kind of prefer this. I would say this prescription definitely helped, but I only used that for about a week or so because that one you would have to like, you couldn't have your baby feed right after. You'd have to like wash it off and everything. Where my son was cluster feeding for a while, so that felt like the nipple cream kind of got in the way. Where this was just easy. I could just get that relief in between those every like 30 minutes, it felt like. So nipple shields were fantastic. I would definitely recommend those. Another thing that I mentioned is you can get nipple cream. You can get either prescription from your doctor, or if you're not going through that much pain, you can just get some over the counter. I'll link all this stuff here into the description, but the one I use is called From Mother's Organic, and it is fantastic. I love that it was organic ingredients, so that I knew for that one, if my baby fed not too long afterwards, it was very clean and he could ingest like whatever was on it. So that is something I'd use. So yeah, for nipple care, the nipple shields as well as the nipple butter. For kind of boob care, I got these little booby tubes from, I believe the brand is Earth Mama. And you can either put these in the fridge or you can heat them up. And basically it allows you to put them on your boob just to kind of let relief. So if you do have like a clogged duct, or if you just like need like some tension relieved, these feel really nice. I personally did not use them as much as I thought I would. I would probably skip this. I think I thought I would have a lot more pain, but maybe you are someone who's prone to clogged ducts, so this would actually be a really nice thing for you to have. But because I am working from home and I'm able to breastfeed, I'm not using the pump as much. So I feel like I've been less prone to clogged ducts so far. Fingers crossed. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. It's a completely new journey, so we'll see how it goes. But I would say these booby tubes for me would be a skip it. I want to talk about the next portion of milk storage. So basically what I like to do Now that we have weaned off of our night feeds, my body is still producing milk in the evening. So I'm pumping at like 10 p.m., 2 a.m., and then I feed him around 6 a.m. So in the night, what I like to do is called pooling milk. So basically, I take this Dr. Brown's pitcher and everything that I am collecting from my 10 a.m. and 2 a.m. pump sessions, I pool it into here. So I will keep my milk in here for about 24 hours. And then after 24 hours, I store my milk in milk storage bags. So these ones you get off on Amazon, you can just put like the time, the volume, the date you filled it up. And basically I will pour that pitcher directly into an actual bottle just to get the precise measurements, because sometimes I find when I was measuring in here it was incorrect. So I measure it into a bottle. So I like to do like 4 ounces, and then I'll pour it into here, and then I will seal it up and I'll lay it flat in the freezer so that I could stack all my different milks. And I have found this to be like a really great source of like organization and just being able to utilize my storage space as best I can. Because at first I was like just storing it like this, and like then all the milk was right here. You couldn't stack it. It was just taking up so much room. So, but these milk storage bags are a total must if you're breastfeeding and if you're trying to create a supply. And the reason why I'm trying to create a supply is because my son will be going to daycare, and I want to make sure that like when he goes to daycare, I have milk already prepared for him, as well as the days that I am, let's just say, hanging out with friends, or I've got something that is taking me away from my son for the day. I want to make sure that whoever's caring for my son, whether it be my parents, my in-laws, or my husband, that they have milk ready so they can feed my baby while I'm gone, so that I'm not the sole responsible person while I'm not with him. So milk storage bags are great. Something that is also super nice to have are this little mold. So basically it holds about a ½ ounce. So I would take the pitcher from time to time and I would fill up all these different molds, because sometimes I'll be feeding my baby and I'll give him like 4 ounces and you can just tell that he's still hungry. So this, you can just pop a ½ ounce in. Because at first I was noticing that like I'd give him like another ounce or 2 ounces, and then he wouldn't finish it because I was just too much that he needed. So I was wasting all this milk. And like I said, breastfeeding is a lot of work. Like it is a full-time job. So I wanted to make sure that I was only using what I needed. So this was so much easy. So if I could just pop a ½ ounce in, and if he was still hungry, I just pop another ½ ounce. So I didn't feel like I was wasting a ton. And this has been a fantastic investment. And then then I'm not wasting any milk. So again, I got this off Amazon. It came in a pack of 2, and I definitely really recommend it for milk storage. Again, I would say this is a nice to have, just because you can just put in ½ ounce into the bag, one of these. But this is just the way it just pops in, very easy to use. So if you have like the additional space in your freezer, this is worth investing in. But while I'm on the go, let's just say, so now I've got the stuff for my husband when he is taking care of the baby, but when I'm out, I will bring my portable pump, or this one that I mentioned earlier. And what I will do is I will actually fill it in this chiller. I really, really love this chiller. And what I love about this chiller is you fill ice in the bottom and then screw off this top, and you can put your milk right here. Or you can vice versa. You can put ice in here and then fill your milk in it. It keeps it cold for a very long time. I will have to say though, this was a smaller size, and I definitely recommend sizing up. It doesn't hold as much milk as I thought I would. Just in the event you're gone all day, it will only hold, I mean, depending on your supply, but I would just invest in the larger one just so you have that extra storage, because it's better to like have more room versus like running out of room when it comes to saving your milk. So, but this, totally worth investing in. Another thing I like to bring is when I leave, let's just say I'm going to a winery and I don't want to feed my son. I would rather feed freshly expressed milk or frozen milk that I've unthawed from a previous time. I love this lunchbox. This lunchbox is so great. Basically what I would do is I would take one of my filled frozen milks, plop it in here, and then I got these ice packs off Amazon, super slim, plop them into this along with a bottle. And I really like this container. It's chic, it's really small, but it carries everything that I need it to. So this is definitely something worth investing when you are out and about and you don't want to breastfeed in public and you'd rather just bottle feed. Or if you're not breastfeeding and you're already transitioned to formula feeding, or however your journey may be, this is just great for storage. So there are other things that you can use for milk collection that I did not use, but that I purchased and just didn't get a time to it. So what I'm talking about is there are things called colostrum collectors. And I purchased that, but you typically don't start collecting colostrum until around 37 weeks. And I delivered at 37 weeks and 6 days. So I didn't really have any colostrum built up. But I know colostrum has a lot of health benefits for babies. So that is something that Haka makes them, and they're tiny little tubes that you can collect and kind of keep stored in your freezer as well. So that is something you can absolutely look into for milk storage. I know there are also different brands for these milk storage bags. So I know Mom Cozy comes with one. And what I think is really cool about their bags is they've got kind of a little indicator of like how cold the milk is. So you can see, is it freezing? Is it kind of room temperature? So I think that's like a very cool perk. I'm going to try them out next. I have been a big fan of these bags so far, but I just want to try out different products and kind of see how I like them and see which ones I want to keep buying moving forward, because this is definitely a big purchase. I will have to say, when it comes to pumping with my Spectra, and I'm trying to, like, let's say read a book or something, this bra I got off Amazon, you clip it to your nursing bra and you can stick the pump parts right in there. It's so hands-free. It is so nice. Honestly, it took me way too long to pull the trigger on this. I was just holding my pump parts while I was using my Spectra. Honestly, I want to say for the first 3 months, which is just absolutely ridiculous, when I knew I should have just purchased something like this. And I'm shout out to my friend Lexi, who gave me this idea. It has been a game changer. So definitely invest in one of these if you are using a Spectra, but I think this would work well with a lot of different pumps. So those are what I used for my breastfeeding journey. Again, I've tried a lot of different products, but if there's any that I've missed, I'd love to hear from you in the comments on what products that you love that you would absolutely recommend. Or maybe you tried a different pump. Maybe you didn't try the Spectra and you're like, I had the pink one, or I had a completely different brand. I'd love to hear your reviews on that. I'd especially love to hear your reviews on portable pumps. So I know I told you I had the LV Stride, but I'd love to hear, maybe you did have the Mom Cozy when I was talking about, or there's other brands out there as well. Just let me know, and then hit subscribe, and then also get the notifications so you can keep up to date on all the videos that I've been posting. I will be posting every Sunday, and I just would love to hear from you and meet other moms in this community. So it's been great talking to you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.